my theme music.
What's up, Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. And it is time for the Lunch Buffs. It is Friday afternoon. We are getting ready for the matchup with the Buffs and the West Virginia Mountaineers tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 12 o'clock Eastern Time in Morgantown, West Virginia. What a matchup it'll be. I think a lot of people are excited for this matchup. I am, even if I don't think that the Buffs can pull out the victory. Yes, I am being that kind of pessimistic fan this week until the Buffs prove me wrong. But I'm still excited to watch this game and watch the start of a new era at Colorado. Julian Lewis's first college start as the QB for the Colorado Buffaloes. Let me know in the chat if you're excited for this. Of course, let me know in the comments down below if you watch this later on, if you're excited for Julian Lewis to get to play in his first ever start as a collegiate football player. Also, let me know what you think the score of the football game will be. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys for joining me today. Welcome in Mark Barr. Cam, I know, we just want that W. I just want to see Julian play. That's right. What's up, Black Reaper? Appreciate you dropping by. Crash, excited to watch Juju. Hopefully the defense shows up. Byard being out the first half certainly doesn't help. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's been very interesting seeing some of the responses to the Matt McChesney interview. I just don't get why people just can't understand where he's coming from. I got a lot of people who came out saying, Matt just wants to make money and he just wants to, direct his kids to make as much money as possible and not put them in good situations, which I think is completely baloney because they're all going to SEC and Big Ten schools that are all competing for playoff spots. So, I can't blame a kid. I can't. I truly can't. But that wasn't the case for all of the recruits that Matt is trying to get to Colorado, okay? Brett Collegier is his top recruit. He's got to get the kid top money. Otherwise, what's the point? Why would kids come to his program if he's not putting the kids in the best possible position possible? Before NIL, Matt's job was to get the kids the best scholarship they can possibly get. Now his job is to get them the most money at the best school that's going to develop them the best. That is his job to do. And people hate on him for that, I guess. I get it. I do. I truly do. What's up, TK? Appreciate you dropping by as always. What a heck of a first game to make your first start in Morgantown. Absolutely, Cam. One that Juju will probably remember for the rest of his life. Absolutely. People want to cancel Matt, and he's alum that will be rooting for the team when Dion leaves. Can't make this stuff up. And he's rooting for the team now. Everybody thinks he's a Dion hater. Even talking to him offline, guys, he is not a Dion hater at all. He just wants to see Dion succeed and see you succeed. Both in the same sentence. Okay? And he believes he can do that because he is giving Colorado first dibs on the recruits that he has. He is trying to give Colorado every advantage that he can above every other program. They're just not necessarily taking it. It's unfortunate. That's where I'm at. I don't think it's Coach Prime. I don't think Coach Prime is the problem. The part that Coach Prime is the problem, which I'm sure people will comment in the comments, is because he hired all these people. I truly do believe we are going to see some big changes this offseason. I think Coach Prime has realized very quickly that some of the decisions he's made have not been good and he's going to learn from it. Okay? I truly do think that this offseason, with him being sick, with him going through everything that he's been through, and seeing that the program was not well run without him around here, shows that he does not have the right people in the right spots. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. How they haven't offered Roper and made Reese Russell a priority is absolutely insane. I agree with that. I totally do. I wish we'd get rid of Hart, but we would lose Rodney too, so it's a lose-lose. Yeah, the question is, are you fine with losing Rodney, Colton? Are you fine with losing recruits? If we fire most of the staff, you're going to lose a ton of recruits, at least when it comes to the coaching staff. Changing the recruiting staff probably won't change recruiting as much as you think for guys already committed, because they're coming here for the coaches, not the recruiting staff. So that would just be something interesting to see if there's some changes that occur on that end. Corey Phillips travels everywhere else but in-state to visit the top players. They have athletes 9 miles away from Kansas. They're not recruiting his madness. The Fairview kid, I just can't believe. I can't believe there's a guy literally 5 minutes away from campus that could potentially be a 5-star player that looks like he's going SEC or Big Ten right now. And Colorado has no interest in him. It boggles my mind. Why? And Matt confirmed it. Because people could say easily, well, maybe they are going and visiting and they just aren't publicizing it. Matt confirmed it. The staff are not visiting in-state kids at all, whether that's Coach Prime or any other coach. If I'm one of those coaches, every Friday night, I am at a football game in the state of Colorado. You know, every off day, I am going to the high schools locally if I only have a one-day turnaround period. I don't get why they aren't just doing that. I would be doing that if I was a coach. I would 100%. It's low-hanging fruit. It's low-hanging fruit. You don't have to take them, but at least visit, talk to them, be in the conversations so that if you need to pull on one of those kids, you have the ability to do that. I get that. Same, Cam. That's what I'm saying. I think this is a big turning point in Coach Prime's coaching career and candidacy. I think, like I said, the way that this staff treated the team when Coach Prime was not around, I think has truly deep down shown Coach Prime that perhaps they are not the ones that need to be here in this position. I guarantee Coach Prime looks at things very differently next year after watching what happened this year. Coaching staff, see, yeah, exactly. Is it safe to say that 2025 was a horrible year for the Sanders? Keith, you're probably not wrong. Across the board, Shiloh's not in football. Shador heading to the Browns and getting blackballed by the NFL, which, by the way, I saw somebody in the comments in the Matt McChesney stream or in one of the comments down below saying that, people shouldn't go to Colorado because you saw that Shador got dinged because he went to Colorado. He didn't get dinged because he went to Colorado. He got dinged because his last name is Sanders. Travis Hunter did not get dinged for coming to Colorado. So that does not matter to recruits who want to come here. If they want to come here and they ball out, they're going to have that attention. They're going to be just fine in getting NFL attention. Okay? You look at the other guys and what they're doing on their teams. Trust me, NFL teams are not going to ding a player for coming to Colorado. They dinged Shador because his last name was Sanders. That's what happened. That is what happened. They need to hit up the Cherry Creek and Valor ASAP. Cherry Creek, Valor, Kent, Denver, Windsor, Fairview. I could keep going down the list of all of these schools where these kids are located. Or even better, just get a list from Matt of where to go if they don't know. It's crazy. Getting our ass beat, lost out on a legacy buff recruit, can't make this up. Yep, it did. Cherry Creek, top 25 school in the nation. Why is Roper not a priority? I have no idea. Russ, where's the peace? Coach Prime needs to quell the civil unrest. Brian, I would agree on that too. But the only way he's going to do that is truly show that he cares and offer an olive branch to both sides, Because if Coach Prime came out and said, you know what? The culture, the history, Colorado is important to me. This is what we're doing moving forward. It'd make a lot of those people happy. And I don't know how it would make the people who are truly just Prime supporters unhappy if he did that. That'd be a great way to start with this piece. But I don't know if Prime's going to do that publicly. I truly don't. I think Prime needed a year like this without his kids to see what he needs to improve it. Oh, we got to be together, of course. And I wish we were. Brian, I don't know what happened. Like, I think Matt has a point to an extent. Is Matt perfect? No. Does he put his foot in his mouth sometimes? Yes. In the sense that, it ruffles people's feathers. I get that. But it doesn't mean that what he says isn't true most of the time. He is trying to help Colorado. And people immediately went to, he hates Prime and he wants to see Prime fail, except in my head, I'm like, I don't believe he wants to see Prime fail. He literally talked about that. He's part of the reason that Prime is here. He was part of the committee that brought Prime in. I don't get why people can't like differentiate the two. Just saying. Criticism is not hating on somebody. You know what? You know what the sign of a true friendship is? I want my best friends to call me out on my shit. I do. I want them to call me out when I am not doing things properly and when I'm not doing things that are good for me. I want them to call me out. I want to be able to hear that. That's what true friendship is. That is what true relationship is. And a lot of people will say that that's part of the problem is he's got a coaching staff that it doesn't seem like they're willing to call him out on his stuff and instead are just being yes men to what's going on. But I'm not in that building. I don't know if that's truly happening behind the scenes or not. But my point is, as far as me, as far as Matt and his criticism of Prime, I don't see why that's a problem. I don't see why we have to immediately jump to the conclusion that, oh, Matt hates him and Matt wants him to fail and Matt wants Colorado to fail. I don't think Matt wants Colorado to fail. I truly don't. That's where I'm at. So I get it, Brian. I get it. Coach Prime cannot visit high school. His visits would be on the level of Michael Jackson going to a Glee Club concert. Keith, and that's one I didn't necessarily agree with. I don't agree with Prime having to go visit these kids. He's proven that he can recruit without visiting these kids. But the fact is that the other coaches aren't visiting these kids in the schools right around here. That's the part I don't love. Coach has to clean house, recruiting, and staff. TCal matter right. They aren't scheming and play calls are basic with non-producing talent, schemes overall of coaches and recruiting. Deanna's team believe talent only comes from Florida and Texas. I don't think they do. I just think that's where they're focused on, and they need to expand that if they truly want to be successful. Huge celebrity, bigger celebrity. Most coaches' visit will be weird. Sirius is insane. The trench play in CU is top in the nation, and Colorado, you should say. People were screaming for Polynesian players, and TI is headed to UW instead of the Buffs. That's true. Right, Russ. Coach Prime needs to get into full coach or CU if he's going to be there. Man, Prime bench Salter, and he took CU football out of his bio. We definitely missed on a quarterback. Yeah, dude. But then again, can we be really, at the beginning of the season, I'll admit this. I felt bad for Salter that he got put in this position. I felt bad that he made this decision to come here. But then again, I don't feel bad now that we are starting to find out a little behind the scenes sneak peek of how much money Salter is making. To get paid that much to come here and play like he did, that's pretty good. He's making more than most rookies / practice players in the NFL are for this season. There it is. He has embraced the Queen of Boulder, which is important. UC Health. Head coaches don't make in-home visits for every kid, but Prime has to start making his star power. He not Michael Jackson. They're going to faint before the show's sold out. Appreciate you, Kai, dropping by as always. It's not the nonstop criticism. Eventually become part of the problem acting like that. We didn't hear one word about the fight song, the 9-3 season. That's fake. Oh, we did. Joe, I did see a few things about that. They've still mentioned it. It just doesn't get as much publicity because the team's not doing bad. And I don't think it's nonstop criticism, Joe. I don't think it is because he's easily said some of the great things that Prime has done too. Nonstop criticism would mean there was never anything good. Getting Seton, getting Xavier Hill. Our whole offensive line, Matt has said, was an absolute win by this staff and this recruiting process and Coach Prime. He even said that during that interview. I don't know where the nonstop criticism comes from because I don't think that was the case. I don't think it was, if that's what you're talking about. It makes me sad that they're maxing out on in-state kids. Those are the easy wins. That's what I mean. It's like it takes no resources. That's what I told Matt. It doesn't cost any money to drive your car down there except for a little gas money. It doesn't, take up that much time except for an afternoon versus a couple days on the road. Like, it's such an easy thing to do in these small moments that you can fill in with those bigger trips. Yes, but why not fill in everything else with the potential to do this? Like, come on. Yeah, and Kai, that's why I'm saying I'm not blaming Prime in this. I think Prime is figuring out very quickly that his staff are to blame. His staff failed him this year. Heck, Matt said that. Matt said it's not on Prime this year. He said, his staff failed him this year. They did not do what they needed to do. So absolutely, I'm giving him a pass. And I think most people are. but his staff have failed him this year, man. That's where the blame goes for me. Because absolutely. And I'm quoting Matt during our interview. So again, tell me where the criticism is in this. Tell me where the bad mouthing or tearing down Prime is. He literally said, Prime went through cancer. Prime went through health issues. Prime is without a bladder. He's wearing Depends on the sideline. He got literally blood clot surgery mid-season and missed 1 day of stuff and came back and still worked. And the players and the coaches can't elevate things for that dude. That's bad. That's real bad, guys. That's real bad. That I'll give it. I don't love supporting Whitlock, but I have seen some of those interviews that he's done with Whitlock. He at least pushes back on Whitlock a little bit when it comes to Prime, when he makes up his crazy remarks about him and the team. So there's that. After the game, but you know, certain places on the internet won't bring this up. They won't. It's all the team's fault. It's all the coaching staff's fault. It's all the other players' fault. It's never Salter's fault. Salter's never done anything wrong a day in his life. Nope. It is scheme. It is coaches. It is decision makers. It is the players around him throwing up their hands and dropping balls and not doing the things that they're supposed to do. It is always somebody else's fault and not Salter's. But yet, they don't ever want to talk about the fact that Salter getting benched is the problem. Like, what? It's mentally weak. It's mentally weak. Cool, Mitch. Appreciate it. Thank you. Joe, kid, you had to bring up that one. Except I heard that Ryan Buell was the next Aaron Donald, but it's our fault he didn't become that. Salter did. I mean, after some point, Salter did. You can't make excuses to Dion because Bill Belichick at 80 is going on the road in these high schools. I don't know. The Belichick thing, don't even start with me on that, okay? Literally, that is the weirdest thing ever. Joe, you're on a roll. Joe, you're on a roll. I'm not. I don't agree with everything that Matt says. I don't agree with everything that Matt says. I am just a fan of this program and want to see improvements. A lot of the stuff that Matt believes, I have also believed at some point or one or another. But I believe in a lot of other things too. You're I agree with that. So what do you agree with specifically? Sorry. It's hard when I'm really behind in the comments, by the way, guys. Darren, I agree. I'm telling you guys this. In my preview of Colorado, West Virginia, there is only one way we win this game, and one way only. And that is an absolute shootout, and Julian Lewis goes out there and plays like the prodigy that he is expected to be, and all of a sudden explodes in his first start. That's the only way we're winning this game. The defenses cannot stop a nosebleed. They're going to be dealing with a run-first offense that probably will pull 300 to 400 yards rushing on Saturday. So the question is, can the offense at least match what West Virginia does? That is my question. Trust me. I did not bet. Not as many as you think, Cam. Not as many as you think. Now, Colorado people, I would love it if they did, but there's plenty of Colorado people that believe it's gospel over there. That believe it's gospel. We've had this going since the beginning. There's always some people that are on multiple sides. Yeah, he is. He is. He truly does care about the program. That's why I try to tell people, like, he doesn't want Prime to fail. Prime fails, that means CU fails. And that means that the thing that he cares about the most fails. I'm telling you guys, you don't understand that. Yep. Yep, there you go, your mom. You're getting it. You're getting it. You know what's funny about this, Brady? That's like a middle schooler's comeback when they have absolutely no idea what to say, is to just call something gay, or in Whitlock's case, it's either gay or woke. Like, I don't care what side of the political sphere you're on, but both of those are just lazy takes. They are. They're lazy takes when you use that. Actually explain it instead of just using one word examples of what's going on. Yeah, Salter got benched last year at Liberty, but I don't see anybody talking about that from that side that's defending Salter. You know? Scott, that's a good question, Scott. Bam! I'm very interested to see if Salter's on that sideline. Because if I'm the coaching staff, honestly, with the way that he behaved on the sideline against Houston when he was benched, I don't know if you bring him. I think you go Staub Ponder as your quarterbacks. I know it doesn't, but that's a great thought. Scott, great thought. The 20-year-old girlfriend on the sidelines is still the craziest thing I've ever seen. I said this, by the way, last spring. Go back and watch my videos when Bill Belichick took this. I talked about the fact that when Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman talk about the idea of Bill Belichick going and coaching college and just laugh and say that it's going to be a complete disaster and are completely right, what does that say? What did that say? Okay, Salter is with the team. Very interesting. Very interesting. You guys are absolutely hilarious. Yeah, that's the only way we're winning, Crash. Either a full shootout or we create some turnovers and we don't turn the ball over ourselves. Correct. We did. We did, even when the defense was bad. Even when the defense was bad. Although Georgia Tech, I mean, they did, gift us some turnovers, which again is the reason why I said if we can get turnovers against West Virginia, we're in this game. We're in this game. It being a day game, slightly easier for Juju. West Virginia fans will show up. I assume they will because it's Colorado. I've heard they've had some issues with fans showing up with how bad West Virginia's been, but I have a feeling tomorrow they're going to have a packed house. Says, believe what your eyes tell ya. I think CU comes out differently with Juju. I agree with that. I think offensively we are going to look a little bit different even from last week. I know people want to say that Brett Bartolone called the plays last week. He didn't look any better. He was also scheming with Caden Salter in mind. Having a week to scheme with Juju, I hope that it looks at least a little bit different and they really play into Juju's strengths. They give him some easy, reads that he's good at. Because again, Juju is very cerebral. He is very smart when it comes to his football knowledge. Big difference between him and where Salter is at. Okay, yeah, Salter, yeah, we already got that. Joe, you go. You go, Joe. You go. East Coast Kev, just go back through the chat. You'll see what he's talking about. Keith coming in. Who do you think will win in the 40 between Matt and Jason? We know the answer to that, Keith. It's probably Matt. I don't think Jason's ran a day in his life. Jason Whitlock. Did that guy ever play any sports at all? Do we know? Correct. The defense has, but part of that too is losing personnel to injuries and / people quitting on the team. Your mom's that's true. Yes, it has gotten worse. But look, we have no defensive line now. I mean, everybody's out injured. We have guys who we've transitioned from the edge to the interior midseason. How is that going to help in the run game? You know what I mean? So of course our defense has gotten worse. Oh yeah. Scotty Fox on the yards. I think he's running for 150. His average, I think, is 57 or 75 a game. I think he's running for over 150 on tomorrow. I do. Yes, Mitch, we are. David and I chatted. We're going to go ahead and live stream the game with you guys tomorrow. So if you want to do a live watch along with us, I know DNVR is doing a live watch along as well. So I can understand if you guys want to hang out there, but David and I will do it too. And you can watch us flame out in person live. Flame Out Live. I agree with Matt on this. Why run right behind Hill and Seton more this week? You know, run right behind them a little bit more on the outside. Do some pulling, do a little bit more of that stuff. I'll be interested to see. That's what I'm hoping for, Kai. I hope for an invigorated offensive line that's so excited to block for Julian Lewis that they step up their game that much more this week. Yes, TMFB. That's what I'm loving. Yes, TMAB. Russ, who would you get for the recruiting staff? Rodney, I don't know. I mean, at minimum, we need to add somebody to the recruiting staff whose sole job is to recruit Colorado. Can we get that? Can we get a in the know Colorado guy that their job is to solely recruit Colorado kids? I would love to see that added to the staff. I would. Because did we replace Devin Respress in the recruiting room? Because I feel like I don't see anybody else outside of the usual suspects from the recruiting staff that have been there forever. Did we ever replace Devin Respress once he left last year? Still confirmed that it's a 10 a.m. start right now. I haven't seen that it's been moved to a night game. Let me double check Twitter. Maybe I mean, unless it literally just happened, I don't see anything about that right now. Yeah, I don't see anything confirming a schedule change. So we're still 10 a.m. Mountain, noon Eastern for those of you out on the East Coast. I know there's a lot of you there. Gosh, you guys are killing it in the chat. Like I said, if you want me to make sure to read your chats, I do have to do super chat at this point because it's moving so much. I am like pages behind you guys. I'm now back caught up, but I'll see how we do it. Yeah, I do think we do make some changes, Joe. I think you're absolutely right. He was questionable on last night's injury report. We'll see what the Friday one. The Friday one usually shows us who's playing. They usually take them off if they're going to play. So we'll have to see. I know John Gruden is controversial. What do you think about him for OC? I don't know. Well, he is friends with Prime. I could maybe see it. But I don't know if he wants to do it or not. I don't know if he wants to drop down to not only not be a head coach, but be an OC at a college. I don't know if he wants to do that. I've got a list, Kevin, of potential OCs that I like. Here, I'll tease it for you guys. I'll just throw out some names that I've been looking at all over the country, just randomly. So no ties. Although one of them is very interesting as a tie. The big one that I think is going to be a hot commodity, which is why I don't think he's going to be for Colorado, would be Jordan Davis, the OC at North Texas. What he's done this year at North Texas has been absolute masterclass, but I think he might be up for some head coaching jobs, so I don't think that one's a potential. Joey Lynch, he is offensive coordinator / quarterback coach, was offensive coordinator, quarterback coach at Vanderbilt, currently is an offensive analyst at Texas A&M. A little bit about him: quiet innovator, modern passing concepts. Was also Vanderbilt's best offensive flashes came with limited talent that he used. So that's another one that I threw out there. Zach Hill, passing coordinator at Boise State, efficient, aggressive spread structure, very quarterback friendly, creates clean reads and spacing based on the notes that I have right there. And then this one's an interesting one, guys. Eric Kiesau, offensive quality control coach at Florida. You know why I like him? Former wide receiver coach and OC at Colorado. He has Colorado ties. Also was an Auburn OC, but right now just quality control coach at Florida. You know, Florida's cleaning house, and you know that would be a promotion to an OC job. So maybe that's something. And he was a former college OC, so he has that experience. Just a couple names that I'm throwing in there. Okay. Northside, where'd you see that? Just because you're not seeing him around right now, or what? What's going on? I mean, that's crazy to go through that many strength and conditioning coaches, guys. That'd be crazy to go through that many strength and conditioning coaches. You think Swayze got fired? Eric Bieniemy's not happening, guys. Eric Bieniemy is not happening. No way, no how. One, he's already in the NFL right now. And two, that ship sailed a long time ago. Trust me. Not coming. Not coming. Bringing Mike Loxley in to be associate head coach. I bet Prime gets an OC people don't like. I think Prime probably gets an OC that we probably aren't expecting. Probably what we're not expecting. Yes, correct. It did not go well. That's what I'm saying. He's not coming back to Colorado. USC about to go down the pipe. I guess to break doesn't see that. Break doesn't see that. I don't know what you're saying here. Cortez Hankton from LSU. That could be another name I can look at. Why is he quality control? Quality controls are just guys that maybe get fired at a specific time, can't really find a job at the time, so they take a quality control just to do something for a year until they can find a position that works for them. Matt Patricia for DC. There are 5 4-stars in the 2026 class from Colorado, and none of them are going to see you. That's just missing on local talent, but elite talent too. Correct, Brady. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I am not on that train whatsoever. I don't even want to talk about that. Shermer's not gone, but he's not play calling anymore. He's not play calling anymore. That's Brett Bartolone. Yeah, unless it's a promotion. So he needs to back up the Brinks truck for Jordan Davis. Make it. Esses, that would be a backup the Brinks truck. He would be making $1.5 million at Colorado as the OC. He would be making $1.5 million to be OC. Gruden 62, close to retirement. OC would be good for him. Great offensive mind. Never heard of these other guys. Kevin Riley. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. Who should we bring in as the linebacker coach? I'm honestly fine with promoting Hilo to linebacker coach, guys. Keep Hilo around. Promote him to linebackers coach. You know, linebackers coach and maybe co-defensive coordinator or something. I don't know. Something at this point. We'll see. 5280. It's the first time he's done a full OC like hiring. Well, I guess Sean Lewis was that too, I guess. Cortez Hankton from LSU. Understand, but Florida doesn't have a good offense now. Why bring in a guy who's not in the position at this time and isn't learning from a good OC? Yeah, but he has the history of the ability. No, we do not have a quarterback coach. I do think we need one as well. I'm wondering if they try and hire Julian Lewis as quarterback coach. He's a guy that just does. He's kind of like what's his face that was Shador's. They just do like random quarterback coaching around the country. If you give him enough money, he'd probably come in and be the quarterback coach here. Don't want any more NFL guys. Get upcoming college OCs. That's true, Brady. Ooh, Ken Norton would be a good one. Yeah, correct, TMF. We're not just blaming the coaches. Remember here, I am all across the board. The coaches, the players, everybody has failed this team this year, if we're being honest. Northside Prime needs to hire some high school coaches from elite schools. That could, hey, how about I throw this one out here? Northside, great idea. Who does IMG have that we could bring in to continue that pipeline and potentially help us out? Because obviously something's going well there if they're as successful as they are. You know? Hey, what about we go down to Georgia and go to Carrollton High School? Or, what's Mantrez's school that's absolutely crushing it this year? What if we go to those schools and hire somebody as well? Could be another thing. Why so many injuries, though? Lots of soft tissue injuries. Well, Crash, here's what it could be, too. And I'm telling you, Prime's called it out. Perhaps some of these guys are just mentally not there. They're mentally weak. You know? Are they hurt? Or are they injured? Are they hurt or are they injured? You have to wonder if that's part of it too. Just look at some of the names on the injury report. I would agree on that. I'm fine with Corey Phillips being on the hot seat, guys. I truly am, especially with the failure in Colorado. That's a non-starter. There's no reason you should fail in Colorado. Trust me. Yeah, Buford. Thank you, Kai. Buford. Maybe we go to Carrollton or Buford and grab a coach from there. Fire coach. Jordan Davis would be an OCS, not a DC. So give him that OC job, absolutely. Yep. Be king, hire slow, fire fast. However, the portal is coming very fast. Yeah, Carlton, I don't think we have to say, I didn't mean like for the OCDC job. I just meant parts of this staff, parts of this staff. Yes. Yeah. Oh, okay. I get you. Use some of that money from Rob not being here to go towards the OC. I got you, Esses. I got you. I definitely got you. Tom Herman, OC, puts CU over the top. This guy's produced some of the best offenses in the country. That's a good one. I like it. Who would you talk? I don't know just yet. 5280. I don't know just yet. I gave you a list of some guys that I've thrown out there. I mean, my top target for OC would be Jordan Davis. But he is going to be, I'm telling you guys, he is going to be a crazy commodity. I don't think he would come to us as an OC. I think he's going to get a head coaching gig somewhere. I truly do. Unless we can pay him more than a head coaching job would pay him as the OC, maybe he'd take it, but I don't know. It depends on his career aspirations. Dave Logan, that's a local legend. I don't know if he'd want to do it. Need to hire Q for 6, head coach, be offensive coordinator. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jordan Davis is probably getting a head coaching job. But who knows? I've seen crazier things happen. Kai, I will say, for those of you out there who want to say the portal is not the way, I'm telling you that this might be one of the craziest portals we've ever had. We have not had the type of coaching turnover in college football since the NIL/transfer portal era has opened, as we are right now. The portal is going to be absolutely crazy with not just cast off and rejects, but guys who are leaving the schools because their coach is no longer there. We do have a Colorado offensive lineman in the cast. Not everyone in here he wants, but there is one. And for what it's worth, Matt McChesney says is good. Need to do a better job, though. Yeah, Crash, agreed. But it could be so much easier. Think about, like, if we had the 10 top guys in Colorado on this recruiting, and we're at 22 recruits, we've got the scholarships for it. So we have the roster spots. Where would we be as a school if you add that in with the 15 to 20 absolute dogs the Prime brings in from Texas, Florida, and Georgia? Think about where we would be long-term with this program, guys. It's what I talked about with Matt. It's what Matt agreed on. Prime's specialty and why he is so amazing is he can go after the top of the top. Jordan Seaton, Julian Lewis, 3 years ago, Cormani McLean. He can get some of the best guys in the country to commit to Colorado. But you can also get the Colorado kids to stay home and build upon that. Holy crud, would that team be amazing. We would be right back to where we were during the glory days of Colorado. Because, guys, yes, we understand it's not Colorado recruits that are going to get you a national championship. It's a mix of both. Look at the 90s Colorado teams that were competing. California and Texas were our best pipelines with Colorado sprinkled in there. Okay? It was there. It was there for the taking. It'll be ironic if Colton Hood wins Defensive Back Award knowing that he was already at Colorado. Agreed. Prime has all these deals coming in. Teach coordinators to get deals to help pay their salaries. True. I say we get 3 solid linebackers, 4 DBs, 4 defensive tackles. Kai, I would say you're probably right. Because defensive tackles is going to be hard. Even if we do get some high schoolers, they're not going to start right away. They're not big enough to be in the trenches. The 3 tech is what we really need. We need some big guys who are actually good. Stop getting secondhand sloppy seconds from SEC and Big Ten. Unless they are a starter currently, that's one to watch. Yeah, Boo Carter sounds like he's... The way that Tennessee talks about Boo Carter, I don't know why he stays. But maybe we get a second chance and he comes back to be with best friend Jordan Seaton. Beacon, that's correct. Except Clemson this year's not as good. I think he's starting to learn. I mean, I'm telling you guys that the competition gap is closing thanks to the portal. If you choose not to use the portal whatsoever, it'll eventually catch up to you like it is Clemson right now. So Jay, the reason for that was, of course not. Colorado wasn't getting anybody before Prime. Okay? We didn't have the coaching staff. We didn't have the team. We didn't have the recognition. We didn't have the NIL. We didn't have the transfer rules. We didn't have so many things. We were literally handcuffing ourselves behind our back before Prime came, and Prime changed that. So now it is opportunistic for Colorado kids to stay in Colorado. That's why they didn't want to have it happen. CU should be number one stop for top 20 Colorado high school kids. And they want to be, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. They now want to be at Colorado. Colorado does not want them. That is not okay. Yep. We did. I mean, our best players were from California and Texas, but we still had a ton of Colorado kids that filled out that roster in depth. I mean, I don't know what he'd bring. It's a player. It's a skilled player in the defensive backfield. We need some defensive backfields. Trust me, you guys, I know what's around here. But trust me, talking to high school kids in the last 10 years, they wanted nothing to do with Colorado. Now they do, but Colorado wants nothing to do with them now, which is frustrating. It's frustrating if they weren't any good. I keep hearing people tell me that too, by the way, on Twitter. When I posted the things Matt said, like people on Twitter were like, oh, Colorado kids are just getting overpaid because they're not good. They're going on to great SEC Big Ten careers and then the NFL. I think they are pretty good. They are pretty good. It's true. Josh Niblett. Okay, we'll add him to the list. B. King, I mean, Neuheisel's son would be interesting if we full circle coming back, but I don't know. With what he's been able to do at UCLA, I could see UCLA trying to retain him somehow, maybe even give him the head coaching job. Who knows? Be interesting to see what happens there. Correct. I think he should have. Here's the problem. I think Boo should have just left. I mean, the fact that he was not in the fact that he already like made enemies on that team, quote unquote, with his teammates, with how he behaved in the offseason, he should have just started fresh. He should have just started fresh when that happened. By him staying for whatever reason, if he got more money or something to stay, it was a bad play on his part. It was a bad play on his part, guys. We need Roy Oliver the third from Hamilton 2027 class. We'll watch him for a bit off the channel. I will. Roy Oliver, I'll take a look. Hit the portal like a madman, make an all-star team to shit on the haters. I love it. I love it. I think we're going to see a lot this year, guys. I think we're going to see a lot. No clue. No clue. We'll see. She has for a long time, Kai. It was pretty well known that when he committed, she wanted him to come here, and he chose Tennessee versus her decision. Her decision was Colorado. We heard her speak on some of the Twitter spaces, and that's why a lot of people thought the Boo was coming to Colorado, was because she was acting like Boo was coming to Colorado. My cousin led an Idaho high school team to a 4-4 record, average 28 points a game. Maybe he can be an OC. Dang, I thought Boo was good after the drama, having a good season. He was for a little bit, but it's gotten worse. His play's fallen off a cliff. He started the season high. He started the season real high. And then it started going downhill. And when it goes downhill and you've got that drama surrounding you, it snowballs. And it's snowballing with the fan base right now. It is snowballing with the fan base. Correct. Yeah, their relationship's really there. I like that. I like that. Okay, guys, I appreciate you for joining me. I'm gonna have to knock out here for my lunch. I appreciate you joining me for Lunch Buffs. Just chatting football, chatting recruiting, chatting CU. It's not gonna be pretty tomorrow, but hey, come join me and David over on YouTube live tomorrow for our live react show and our post-game show. You'll want to do that and be a part of that, guys. We appreciate you. So absolutely. Awesome. We appreciate you as always for joining me for today. Hey, hit that like, make sure you're subscribed on the way out, guys. You guys have been awesome this last couple of weeks. with the likes. It's really like pushed my videos, which has been super helpful. So that's why it's so effective and so appreciated. So until tomorrow, guys, for Buffs News Weekly and the Lunch Buffs, I'm Russ. Sco Buffs.